All right, as our debate starts to wind down, I'm going to ask each one of the tables to please present a closing statement, about 2 minutes, and tell the folks in Brampton why they should consider your party as the next leader in Ottawa. Please. And from the Greens.
Tonight we've had a chance to talk about a pretty decent spread of topics, but even so, you can only cover so much, and there are a number of things we haven't talked about tonight. So I'd encourage all of you, if you'd like to know our full set of policies, including ideas about free tuition, some innovative ideas to reduce carbon use by increasing energy efficiency, and also drug policy, please visit greenparty.ca. You can see our full platform there. There's a short version. There's also a 180-page version. I know you won't read all of it, but you can get great information about whatever issue is important to you. And we have a fully costed budget there. I'd like to take the next 30 seconds to talk about the other parties here today. I appreciate a lot of the information. A lot of information was brought out tonight, and I'd like to thank the other parties. Many of you spoke very passionately about issues that it was obvious were important to you, and I think a lot of information has been shared, and I hope everybody here learned a lot tonight. And now I'd like to spend the last minute talking about you folks. You've taken the time to come here tonight, obviously, because perhaps you wanted to support a party, but I think you also wanted to learn and to hear, and because you care about your community, and I think that's great. Where do we go from here? I think you've seen up here three parties who there was more, I believe, more agreement than disagreement up here. You heard everybody defending the CBC, the census, coming out against carding. There are a lot of shared values here, and I think that's very promising for us politically, because we need to move this country away from division that we've had and back into unity. When you go home tonight, what can you do? If you've been inspired by anything you've heard tonight, talk to a friend, talk to somebody who wasn't here, investigate further, get involved with a campaign if you so choose, because it's your country and you decide what happens to it. So thank you for coming.
So on behalf of Brampton Focus, we'd like to thank the Green Party for coming tonight. Ms. Pauline Thornham, Sean Hutton, Saul Putcher, Kyle Lacroix, and Karthinka Gomina. Thank you very much to the Green Party. Nicely done. Final statement from the Liberals, please.
Me and my fellow Liberal colleagues are all proud long-term residents of Brampton. Over the years, we've seen through the Harper government a lot of decline in our community, economic loss, jobs loss. The youth here are suffering. We do believe that we strongly believe in our plan. We will make a historic infrastructure plan that will help create jobs in our community. And that is the #1 concern we've been hearing day after day, is how do we create jobs? We'll also invest in our social systems. We'll invest in childcare. We'll invest in elderly housing, affordable housing, senior centers. We will also invest in our middle class. We are the only party that is actually going to take away this unfair tax advantage that the rich have been provided. So we're going to increase taxes on the 1% in order to make sure we focus on the middle class and lower. So we will cut taxes for the middle class so that those families have a little bit more, so that they can actually reinvest in our economy. When the middle class and lower has more, they're able to survive, they're able to invest in their communities, and through that we can create more jobs. In conclusion, I'd also let my colleagues.
I've been living in Brampton for the last 24 years. My family's story is so similar to all your family's story. I'm a son of a taxi cab driver and a factory worker who got to go to some of the best schools in this nation and achieve his very own Canadian dream. Over the last 10 years, the Harper decade, his policies have put that dream more difficult to reach. I'm running to ensure future generations have the same opportunity that I did.
I came to Canada nearly more than 20 years back, and at the time when I came, Liberal Party was in power, and Conservatives were gone at that time, and the country was running in a recession. Great recession, people were doing 2 jobs, they were not even able to make up their bills, and ultimately, same position is today, and today we have to take it out. Justin Trudeau has given that slogan, to bring that, move the economy forward.
Thank you. Brampton Focus would like to thank the Liberal Party of Canada for coming. Ruby Sahota, Mr. Ramesh Sangha, and Raj Grewal. Thank you so much for being here. And last but definitely not least, I'd like to give this to the NDP party, please, if you would give us your summation.
When we consider who we should be voting for, we want to make sure that we touch on both the national level, city level, and the local candidate level. So at the national level, the New Democratic Party has broad stroke policies that will benefit Canadians all across the country. In particular, our jobs plan, where we're going to reduce the small business tax 20%, because we recognize that almost 80% of the jobs in Canada are created by the small business sector. In particular, here for our region in Brampton, we know that the manufacturing sector is a huge part of our history, and we want to make sure that we bring that back and create jobs in that area. So we have special innovation tax credits to make sure that jobs are created there. On the social services side, we know that certainly we have, the most expensive car insurance in the country, but we also have very expensive childcare as well. Some of the most expensive childcare in the nation as well. So we want to bring in a $15 a day childcare plan for Bramptonians and right across Canada so that people can afford to actually go out to work. In addition to that, something that wasn't touched on here in the debate, the New Democratic Party is also wanting to make sure that old age security and the guaranteed income supplement are also boosted so that our seniors can live in the dignity that they deserve after working so hard and paying taxes for decades. At the more candidate level, what you're going to want to make sure that you look at when you go to vote, you want to make sure that the diversity of this city is reflected in the diversity of the candidates that are coming forward to represent you. Make sure that when you look at your candidates, they have the skill set, which we have here in the New Democratic Party, but make sure also, too, that the particular community that you come from has a voice at a table. Make sure that the concerns that they have will be shared through the candidates that they have running in your great city. Because if not, then you are at risk of your voice being not heard. We in the Democratic Party have candidates that come from all the various backgrounds to make sure each and every single citizen in Brampton is represented and has a voice at the table in this election 2015. Thank you.
Thank you. Brampton Focus would like to thank Martin Singh, Amarjeet Sangha, Rosemary Keenan, Harbaljeet Kalan, and Adoma Patterson. Thank you so much for being here today.